This is 3rd March. We are leaving Les Sables d'Olonne. We're gonna go across Biscay Bay. Entrance to the channel, to Les Sables. We're leaving. And this is Biscay in front of us. It looks okay, although we were really scared for the weather. It's 3rd March, so there's still a lot of cyclones going around. So it's sunrise now, we are putting up the sails. We have the main sail, one reef. Now we're putting out Genoa. Now going from Les Sables d'Olonne, crossing Biscay Bay. We have one reef in full sails, 20 knots of wind and quite good speed. Everybody's happy.
First day, exciting.
First day. It was raining for the last few days, now we have sun, it's pretty warm. Everything seems to work good on the boat. All that's left is sailing, sleeping and eating. This is our watch schedule. We're just testing the 3, 3 and 2 hours. We used to do 4 hours, 8 off. But this seems like it could work really good. Rocking just a little bit. Nice sunset, sunrise. Everything seems to work fine. Crew seems to be happy, handling sea very well. First morning of crossing Biscay. Камери са битък, тут не видиш.
Па най-вече превати стари. Не си мислиш, о, фак си му умърен. Погледаш филм, че пътува.
И погроза. So now we've been sailing for around 4 hours. The wind increased and we have around 22-23 knots. One reef in the main. Very good speed, around 8 knots. Speed over ground. We have waves from the side. And it's pretty comfortable. It's not bad at all. And this weather should calm down. So during the night there shouldn't be much wind and the waves should go down also. It doesn't look on the camera, but there's a few meter waves. And this is our GPS position. Cyclones keep coming from Atlantic, and it's very hard to get in winter time. It's 3rd March. Get good conditions to cross directly. You rarely get wind from behind. It's actually pretty comfortable. This sun hood, or how it's called. Few short waves and we stop. This is actually very comfortable. We don't feel much wind, and this thing I think can actually withstand 40 knots easily. I'm not sure 40, but it's pretty solid. Oh, there's dolphins coming to visit us. This is now second day of crossing Biscay, 11 in the morning. It's still going upwind. Second day crossing, 12 o'clock. The wind should go down a little bit, but the waves are gonna stay. Right now we have 26 knots. Fortunately, straight head, but in a few hours it should turn and should be better.
To Coronia. La Corona, I think it has something to do with the beer.
No, you're just missing a beer. So it's the day 2 of crossing Biscay. We are in front of Gijón. Finally the winds came down and we actually have 10 knots from behind. We have 7 to 8 knots of speed and we are doing really good. And we just cooked our first tortellini. Actually, Jan did them. Right?
They're cooked, though.
That's right.
We can't.
I had
guarantee-
eggs though, so no pasta for me. Did you guys have eggs too?
Oh yeah, I finished them all.
Oh, you did?
I think I had like probably 8.
Oh, you made 12
I
eggs.
think you had like 4, yeah, and Elena maybe had like 2. I finished.
Hi, Mario. Nice boat. Hi, Vic. You gonna send it to her?
So how do you feel about your cabin, Terry? Last time you had a front cabin.
Yeah, that was a mistake. This time is a back cabin, so good. But that's a rookie mistake, I guess, huh?
And we're finally getting some good winds from behind. We have 24 knots from behind and we're doing up to 8, 9, 10 knots surfing down the waves. The third day of crossing Biscay, and guess what, we're going against the wind again. So since leaving Les Sables we had some side winds and then mostly upwind, and we only had 4 hours of downwind sailing. We reached 13.2 knots, which was really fun. But it doesn't look promising, so probably we'll have to stop in La Coruña, but we'll see after we check the weather. So that's us. This is La Coruña, this is already Portugal, this is Spain. So we're actually down a pretty good route. Now it's all about turning around Finisterre, but we're expecting some strong south winds. We're now near Coruña, it's down there. We're again having headwinds. We're using the engine. We should turn Cape Finisterre early morning, and then we'll get some good winds from behind to get us to Vigo. We just made some pasta. We have some fresh tea, and I guess we're gonna make some tortellinis. We're quite well stocked with the food, but we need a little bit more calm seas to cook something better. So this is the 4th day of sailing across Biscay. We're finally having some winds from behind, and we just passed Finisterre. We have quite big seas. quite big. And we should be in Vigo very soon. Oh, it's a big one.
Yeah. Morning. It was a rough night last night.
What's the speed now? You look fresh, like new.
It's right around 9.
9 knots, you look ready for a beer.
I will be. Not till we get to Vigo.
So after 3.5 days crossing Biscay, it's the first time I'm wearing my sunglasses. It's actually quite warm. We have 17 knots wind from behind. We're gonna be in Vigo in a couple of hours. It's not that bad.
76 hours
76 hours
so far.
crossing.
471 miles.
So how was it in Biscay, Terry?
Horrible.
You wanna go again?
Not in March.
Not in March?
Maybe April.
So you've done it in April, in March, now next time it's February, Terry. Next year, February.
Yeah, right. Perfect.
And then January, until we get to cross it in summer one day.
That was a long trip.
So you say it's true when they say no crossing of Biscay in January, February, and March.
I would agree with that. Yep.
This guy was pretty smart who wrote that.
But we made it.
Good morning.
Morning.
I was woken up by French toast.
Not
Smell of French toast.
That's not bad. It's bad.
I'm making eggs right now here.
It's much better to be waken up with fresh morning eggs than fresh morning huge waves in 30 knots. Is that right?
That is right, Captain.
Well, honestly, I didn't sleep that well. I thought it was gonna be better.
Okay, no problem.
He's a sea wolf. He misses sea.
Yeah, you'll get a night shift. You'll sleep like me then. Very good and very nice boat. It has very good maritime capabilities. Very comfortable. We are going on a short trip because we're stuck in Vigo for another few days. There's a huge cyclone coming, so we better stay in the marina. So now we are sitting in a 100-year-old yacht club in Vigo, which is just beautiful. What do you think, Terry?
Yeah, this is a beautiful yacht club. One of the nicest, yeah. And its price is reasonable too. They have good cappuccino. And good internet.
So this is the party car.
So this is
Wow.
happy birthday.
Clown. Where's the clown?
You're the clown.
And I'm the clown, I guess, in this area.
So Jan is having 30 years.
Thursday
He's been depressed all day because it's 30 years.
in Vigo.
It's the first birthday he's not happy. He's older.
And there's a cake.
Oh, it's-
that's an actual
That's
cake.
a real cake.
Yeah.
cake.
I was working all night, you know.
Is this Santiago?
So now
Santiago or bust.
we drive. Terry, where are you playing with the balloons and stuff? So we are in Santiago de Compostela, and this is the famous church. Trying to make a fire in the wind.
We can do that.
got
one.
Birthday to you. A1,
No, not yet.
A2,
Not yet.
I'm doing
Hey,
it.
free!
No, wait, no, I didn't take a
So we're now in A Coruña. We found this beautiful lighthouse. Hello tourists! Wave to the camera.
Sunny day. Big waves coming in. And we have to leave Paradise. Monday.
Yeah, we go to the Paradise on
You going to
Monday.
the Paradise? Gibraltar?
Yeah. James Bond KGB series of Skoda Fabia. It doesn't look fast, but it just doesn't look fast. Here's the agents. They don't look like the agents. That's the idea. They're not supposed to look like. This is a super old village, used to be here, built on the hill, well protected. House, it's actually pretty cool. Well, let's take a look inside. Oh, it's not bad. Finally leaving Vigo after 5 days. And we find a new expression which is called harbor sickness. That means when you really want to leave harbor. But it seems like the weather conditions are now outside. It's 50 knots and 10 meters, but now it seems like we can finally go. So the crew is ready.
Oh yeah.
The boat is ready. Terry is geared up for the extreme conditions. Sandy line. So we have left Vigo yesterday night. And now we're on the west coast of Portugal. It was a pretty rough night. We were actually waiting. That the 8-meter waves calmed down, because outside it was for a few days blowing 50-60 knots. So as soon as they kind of dropped to 6.5, we left. But it was total darkness. So we couldn't see anything, and I can see today there's still a lot of waves. So we had around 6.5 meter waves, and it was gusting 30 knots, but now it calmed down to 9 knots, and to Cascais we should have these conditions. So finally some more relaxing sailing. Which is a GPS tracker, so I can send my position to the web page so everybody knows where I am, friends and family. And in case of emergency, there's also a SOS button which via satellite sends emergency call. And you can also text message via satellite, so you can see what's the nature of the problem. And you sleep much better if you have this. People at home sleep much better with this, and it is a very good search and rescue device. And I really like that expression. It's called harbor sickness, and that's the reason why many boats sank or got in trouble in the storms. And the harbor sickness is when you're waiting in a harbor, eager to go out, waiting for good conditions, and then you go too early. The conditions are maybe okay, but you should wait another day. And they recommend visiting a castle, visiting a museum, going for a walk, just to distract yourself I guess the worst thing is sitting in a marina watching the weather news and waiting when you can leave. And there is a special menu. Oops. It is tortellini. Again, so you boil water and you cook tortellini for 1 minute. Boiling, you put water away and you put some sauce. A little bit of Parmigiano, and then you mix. And then we just leave it here, and when people come around they eat, and when there's no more we cook again. And actually during the day you don't see much of the crew because they're either sleeping or the watch, and when you're finished with the watch you go to your cabin, and you come here, you eat, you go to the watch, so you just see each other a few times a day. This is all that is left from the crew. Everybody else jumped in the water because it was so big waves.
We started out with 8 people. We lost 4.
Which is an average. Tuesday, early morning. We've been on the sea for 2 nights and 1 good day. Sailing from Vigo. We had to leave Vigo at night at 6.5 meter waves, 30 knots wind, just to come here at right time, because afternoon we get headwinds again. What do you think about the trip and the weather? I know food is good, the company is great, but what about the weather?
I mean, it's a little windy, you know, it's hard to sleep on the shifts, you know, because when you sleep here, it's all the time bumpy. It's not good.
So what was the highest wave you saw?
It was dark, you know, I didn't see anything, but I just saw it, this horizon was like going away,
So it was going over your horizon?
over my horizon.
So that would be what? 4, 5, 6, 10?
6, 7, 8.
And the winds?
Terry got the worst winds all the time. Terry has seen every ship 30 wind.
I think
30 knots.
didn't Jan have like 40?
I don't know.
Jan, you had 40, didn't you?
Yeah,
Or 45?
I think it was 40, 43.
43, yeah.
So we're now in Marina Cascais. We're gonna spend 1 night here, so the wind calms down a little bit. I would say it's gonna be over 40 knots, so just don't want to take a risk. It's gonna be much better in the after days. And seems like very good winds all the way until Gibraltar. We have around 300 miles to Gibraltar and should be there in 2 days. So this is one of the fastest door I've ever seen. So you press a button here and then it starts opening. It is the latest high-speed device. It takes around 50 seconds to be able to exit. Thank you very much.
Bye bye, Cascais. It was a pleasure to see your rainy days, but we are ready to leave. We are excited to go to Gibraltar. Jan is on his way. Captain is ready. Some first ropes are untied.
Oh, that's working.
We are turning. There's some new method to turn. Ah. I guess we managed to pull the trick. This was the thing I was shooting. Pirates, even pirates are not going out in this weather. They're too scared. But nothing is too scary for us. This is the pirate ship. Boys are working on the ropes. And we are going out.
So we just left Biscay 1 hour ago, and we have good conditions for the first time on this trip. We have 20 knots from the side. The waves are a little bit choppy, and we're doing 7 to 9 knots. What do you think, Terry? How does this feel?
This is probably one of our better days of sailing, I think. Comfortable. I'm getting tired. It's my shift.
So what is the last time you saw sun in the last 2 weeks?
I don't think we've seen the sun. Well, we did see the sun in Vigo, I think, when we got there.
I am. First
Start the course.
Gibraltar though.
First Gibraltar.
So today is first day. It's good 2 weeks until we left Les Alpes d'Olonne, France. And we're actually turned Portugal and we're heading directly toward Gibraltar, which we're gonna reach tomorrow, around 150 miles. And for the first time it actually feels like sailing what we were expecting. We have a beautiful sun, we have very good speed. The wind is actually from behind for more than 2 hours. And that's what sailing should be all about. And we're gonna have this for the next 2 days until we reach our destination. So in the last 2 weeks we mostly had headwinds, very choppy sea. And now finally for the finish we were getting some perfect conditions.
It's the nicest day we've had, I think.
It is.
Might even get a suntan.
Yeah, we got one with sunburn. So I see that you changed your mind. Next year you go again to Biscay in February. It's not that bad at all.
Yeah, January, February. We want to make it a challenge.
So here we are. This is the end of Portugal, and this is Gibraltar. Around 24 knots of wind. First time we're actually doing very good sailing. I could definitely get used to this. This could actually be enjoyable. But what we had for the last 2 weeks is definitely suffering. If you like to suffer, you'll like it. Otherwise, it's just waiting for the days like this, and that's why we go sailing, right? Days like this count. One of the hardest things definitely are night watches, especially the weather we had when it's totally dark. So I try to sleep for a few hours on a very choppy seas. Everything is it's very loud in the boat inside. Hard to sleep. And then your alarm goes on. You wake up, it's totally dark. You somehow get up to the bridge and it's dark. It's like watching TV turn off. You don't see the horizon because it's so cloudy. It's just black. You don't see anything. There's these small navigational lights that light the boat a little bit, so you can see the boat a little bit. And that's it. And you're watching on the GPS on ice for some boats around you. Try to see some lights of other ships to avoid. And I would say it's really not much fun. Also because you don't see the horizon, so your ear and eyes get messed up a little bit. So it's like in a fog, you don't know what's up, what's down. And you have to go for up to 3 hours, what is our longest watch. And it gets a little bit chilly during night. So that's pretty much the worst you have to do. But then we have days like this. Dolphins! And finally, Gibraltar. Finally, the Rock of Gibraltar. And Africa on the other side. That's Africa. And in between it's the Strait of Gibraltar. So we refueled in Gibraltar. It's quite good price. It's 0.6 euro, a little bit less I think, for the diesel. So it's more than half the price there. It's all the way around. And this is Gibraltar. We're leaving. So this is the famous rock with monkeys. This is a really calm sea. The real Mediterranean. It's just amazing how bad weather we had for 2 weeks. We had choppy big waves. The boat was bouncing most of the time. I would say it was one of the worst sailings I had, the least comfortable. But at least for the last day we have some calm seas, so we can enjoy this day. There's Malaga, 55 miles more. Terry is finally getting his meat. We actually wanted to stop in Spain just for 1 hour to fix the Genoa and get some meat. But it would cost us 90 euros. We would have to pay full day in Marina and they had no mercy for us. Terry is now making, he hasn't been in the kitchen much for the last 2 weeks.
Well, he hasn't made anything to cook. Pasta.
Well,
Pasta and cookies.
he has been mostly complaining about eating pasta for the last week. So now he's gonna make...
I'm not Italian, you know.
You're not Italian?
No.
So why are you then making tortellini again?
This is all we have.
But we have some special ingredient. This is gonna save the day, right?
It actually tastes pretty good.
So after 2 weeks of rain, cold waves, strong winds, we are here. South Spain. T-shirt, sun. It's a new world. It's coming to another planet. Not bad at all. That is the last day. We go home tomorrow.